Joins us now live from Beijing. Richard, thanks for staying up, but please tell us about your interview.
So as you know from covering diplomacy for so long, the Chinese government does not like to show its cards. Generally, when you ask for interviews, they're either declined or they take a very long time, or you get written statements in Chinese. But what we got this time was an actual sit-down interview with a senior foreign ministry official. And I think it's because of the urgency many people in this country feel, and the government feels, now that Donald Trump is making so many rapid-fire appointments and so many rapid-fire decisions. And China, frankly, doesn't want to be left out. It wants to lay down its markers. It wants its public priorities to be known and to be clear so that there is no confusions or, even worse, a potential escalation of a trade war or even a military escalation. And really, there were two main priorities that we discussed in this interview with the foreign ministry spokesman Lu Kong. The first one was about the controversy over China's building in the South China Sea. If you remember yesterday at the press briefing, the new White House press secretary said that the United States would challenge China over its fortification of islands in the South China Sea in order to build military bases. China today wanted to stress that it sees that as a national priority, and effectively the U.S. should back down. And the second point, on which China was even more emphatic, was over its so-called one China policy. There's a big concern that the United States, that President Trump will recognize Taiwan, something that China does not do and does not want the United States to do.
How would China respond if the U.S. takes more steps, if President Trump takes more steps to recognize Taiwan?
I'm not here to prejudge anything, but we made our positions very clear. 2 points. First, this one China policy has been the fundamental basis for China-American relationship. Second, because this issue touches upon China's core interests, by no means this is something that could be negotiated or at a bargaining chip.
So that sounds like there's no room for discussion from your perspective on that.
One China policy.
100%.
100%.
As you remember, Andrea, shortly after his election, President Trump received a phone call from the Taiwanese leader. China was incensed by that, so much so that they sent military aircraft buzzing very near to Taiwan. They sent an aircraft carrier coasting by not far from the Taiwanese shoreline. So this is something that China wants to make explicitly clear, so that there are no misunderstandings now or in the future that it sees as something of a red line.
Richard Engel.